Thank you, everybody. This is Darcy Ogandaga, CEO of Trillion Media. Thank you so much to join us live. It's 6:16 live from Atlanta, Georgia. And today we're going to talk about real estate and social media. So I will start first, and Wendy will join us later on. What is social media? Why is it so important? First of all, I would like to thank everybody who participated to our event a few weeks ago. It was a success. We have phone calls from everywhere, and we have to do part 2. So what we are doing, we're doing it because we want to make sure that you getting into this type of business and understand why it's so crucial to understand the power of marketing for your business. You see, when it comes to any type of business that you are doing, the secret of a business is for you to be able to market and talk to the maximum of people, even in real estate. You see, the power of social media, what I will talk about today, the different type of traffic and how to position yourself for people to see what you are doing. So the base of what I'm about to teach you today is called education-based marketing. Education-based marketing. It means that you educate the masses, and those students will become your potential client or your selling agent. They're going to receive so much value from you that when they're going to start thinking about real estate, they're going to think about you. Real estate, oh no, that person, because that person gives some powerful webinar, some powerful podcast, powerful post, powerful video, powerful tips, and all those type of different medium all over social media will establishing you as authority of your custom audience that you will build organically in 3 to 6 months. I don't want you to have this idea that you're going to start something for one time and then it will work. You don't want to be in this type of situation when you work just one time and something magic happen. Everything is about a strategy and know how to position yourself over and over again through consistency of your teaching and adding value to people and answering the question that most people have when it comes to real estate. And then they say, you know what? I'm looking for a house, or I'll try to sell my house. Let me talk to that person because I know that whenever I come on Facebook, that person talking about something about real estate. I know that sometimes, you like to post a picture, but posting a picture is not enough. It's good if you have an Instagram account that you sold a few houses. It's important to have, but I don't want you to make it your sole priority. Like all you do is just that, posting picture. You have to put some blog posts. You have to be a blogger. So you have to have different avenue. It means that you need to have a podcast if possible. You need to do webinar live like we're doing now. Is a lot of things that you have to put, when it comes to technology, but I can teach you how to do that, and it's not that hard when you understand how to deal with it. Then you need to also have what we call video. A video means that not just like what we are doing now, but something that you pre-recorded and then you release on a schedule. So people know that every Monday night, every Wednesday night, every Friday night, every Saturday, Sunday morning, whatever the best time is for you, that you're releasing content to add value to your audience about, the most question that people have when it comes to real estate. What type of credit, I need to have to make sure I'm going to be qualified. How long is it going to take me to close if I just divorce? What do I need to do if I want to go to another state and sell my house in 30 days? So all these type of questions is that those type of questions coming back over and over again, and it's your job to find a way to really maximize. You have to maximize that type of things. When you maximize this, you will be able to understand that, all those questions, if 10 people ask you that question, they will ask you the question the next time. So you have to really make sure that you set up this type of things. So when you answer a question 10 times, when you put it into the media, you can now answer 10,000 people in 1 week. You know, remember when I started on social media back in 2009, when just a few of us were up there, and I was able to reach 84,000 people in 1 week with a promotion that I ran on Facebook. So it's so important for you to understand that real estate is not only happening by you calling people or putting a $3,000 or $4,000 billboard that nobody looking at when they're driving. Everybody's texting. Then you realize that when you drive, sometimes I'm so scared because I look on the left, on the right, everybody's texting. Be texting. I said they don't even look at the road, so they're not going to look at your billboard. So don't use those type of technology or those type of media outlets who are not effective as they used to be. Now, in some place where it's not too busy, a billboard still working, but I don't want you to spend 90% on your budget on billboard. Cut that down and put some of the same amount of money on social media advertising and positioning and some SEO optimization. And I guarantee you, you will have some huge result. Because the difference between an ad that you see on the street and an ad that you see on the internet, until you click that ad is going nowhere. That ad actually is waiting for you, waiting for your eyes, and you can optimize your social media strategy on mobile. So it's extremely important to have this type of things. So let me pause for a few seconds, just make sure that people on our other pages are not lost. It's live, I'm telling you guys, it's so important for us to have this type of things. It's great to have it and to make sure that people are really on it. Okay? So let me share the link with people. So make sure that they can get it. And I just let them know, like, we are on Google. If you're watching from the live page, go on the event page on Facebook, and then you will see we are live on YouTube now, beside of the lead pages page. So you go straight on YouTube. It's even easier for people, especially on mobile device, to watch us. Okay? I should be able to see us. That's why I love it. It's live, and thank you for your patience. We can really work with different people and make sure that nobody is lost on social media if you're watching that thing live. So let's now start the teaching. Like I told you at the beginning, we talk about the different type of traffic. It's very important to understand, like I said a few weeks ago, there's what we call paid traffic, there's organic traffic, and viral traffic, and they're all working together. Now, when we use organic traffic, it means that you use the audience that you already have. Like, for example, you have 1,000 friends on Facebook. 1,000 friends on Facebook, we use this type of things, okay? So it's extremely important for you to get it and understand that when you're on Facebook and you have 1,000 friends, organically, Facebook drop the organic reach to 3%. So 3% of 1,000 people is 30 people. So 30 people at the time of your post will be exposed for a certain amount of time at your post. And if you don't have at least 10 people who react to that post will die in about 3 minutes. So if you don't have an audience who engage with you or don't expect to come to your page, they will not see it. So that's why, like I tell all my clients, it's important to post when you're in business minimum 3 times a day, and the ideal is 5 times a day. When you get up in the morning, you post another time at noon when people get their break. Then at the middle of the day, for people who get off about 2 or 3 o'clock or go pick up their kids, so it's like about 2 or 3 p.m. Then when people get off from work, about 4:55, between 4:50 and to 5:45, when people are on traffic, they start they're on their phone. So that's when you post stuff and they can see what you're doing. And then before you go to bed. And I'm telling you, if you post about value and you're doing this, what I'm telling you, for 2 months, you will see a huge increase of people who are very interested by what you have to say. And some people say, Darcy, you know, I don't want to talk about this type of things on my personal page. I want to only talk about it in my professional page. Listen, if it's not too Darcy, I'm Darcy the businessman, I'm Darcy the husband, I'm Darcy the father, I'm Darcy the son, and the same Darcy. So what is personal, my business is personal. It's what I do. So on my personal page, I have no problem to advertise the different type of services that I need to offer. And you should not be in bondage as well to be hesitant to talk about your business on your personal page and only on your professional page. Because again, even a professional page reach is not what it used to be. So you're not going to be able to reach a lot of people if you just have just one message for business and not a message for your personal. If you have 2 pages, talk about the same thing all the time. When I want to post a picture of my baby, I post a picture of my baby. When I want to talk about business, I talk about business or that in my page. So you need to understand this type of things, okay? I don't want you to be really afraid, but you need to be consistent. You know, your Facebook, your YouTube, your Twitter, your Instagram, this is your network. This is your TV network. So you have to broadcast what you want people to see about you, what is the most important thing for you, and especially for your business, okay? So now let's talk about paid traffic. Paid traffic is when you release an event and then you have what we call, you have a suggestion for you to boost your post on Facebook, for example, or create a campaign on Twitter or put some ad on YouTube. And those type of things are extremely important when you know how to use it and customize it and to target a certain audience for at least a week minimum. A month is a great campaign. A great campaign is 3 months. 3 months, you can really reach out to people, you know, change, release different videos, call to action, different giveaway. And you have this interaction with people. This is what we call it social media. It's not traditional media when they used to push a commercial on Super Bowl and say, like, take that, like PD, you know. You don't want to do this type of things because it's not working the way it was supposed to work, like you used to work. People are kind of tired of seeing that push media. They want to be educated. So you give them a free course, you give them a free giveaway, you give them a $50 gift card from Walmart, you know, regardless of what you have. And then when you give them these type of things, now they can relate to you and understand exactly what you're doing. That's why it's extremely important for you to know how to run this type of things. Because if you're not doing it like that, it's going to be kind of hard for you to understand how to leverage the power of paid advertising. Now, viral. When something goes viral, is for example, like what I did with my church about 2 weeks ago, when my pastor said something so funny and so true, I was able to snatch what we call micro content, and I repurposed this micro content and I repost it on my page, and I have more than 5,000 people react to that, and I believe more than 200 shares in less than 20 hours. And how you do that is like when you seize the moment. But you need to do a little bit of viral through intuition. You need to do organic, so I mean that to post on a regular basis and on schedule, and you need to have your paid advertising. But you want to say, like, Darcy, how do I start? Do I start with paid, I start with viral, I start with organic? No. This is what you do. You start with organic first. You start with organic because you always need to adapt your strategy when it comes to social media. You start organic, you start with your friends and invite them to your events for maybe a month or two. And then after all your friends and all your family members know what you are doing, now you go after people who don't know you. So now you move to a paid strategy. So to reach a bigger audience according to their interest. So social media and internet in general, people like us, we know how to track the people who might be interested by your services and products, just like real estate. And we know their behaviors because we have what we call cookies who follow people around all over the internet. And so we know exactly that that person will be interested at buying the house because we know where they've been and is something legal. Say, oh my God, Darcy, you part of the people who spying us, so you know exactly where I'm going on the internet. I don't know necessarily, but I know where I can find that type of information. Okay, it's not that you don't have to buy a list, it's illegal, but when you pay for advertising and you ask those type of social media tools to the type of audience you're looking for, we let you know that, okay, but group of people right here, I know exactly they'll be interested. And now when you have this target audience, now you present them with something that they're already looking for, not doing some blind marketing. People say, like, talk to everybody about real estate. You got your license yesterday, talk to everybody. Some people, they don't want to buy a house. Some people, they're comfortable in their apartment. They say, I don't want to buy a house. It's too much headaches. Or I used to have a house, I lost a house. Not anymore. So you want to talk to people who are actively looking for a house. So they will respond to you because they have a need that you can solve. So it's about, business about solving a problem. So you find that, okay, maybe if they want to go to a bigger house, or maybe if they want to downsize, there's a way to find those people online. I don't know how you do it traditionally, but I'm here to teach you that in real estate, you can really know what people are doing and follow them and decide to try to convince them. Is more about present to them before opportunity to help them. I hope that makes sense. You present to them the opportunity to help them. And that's why I love technology. Like, I'm here and we have a meeting full of people, about 100 people across my office right there, where I will go in a few minutes and we will talk about the same thing. But this time I'm going to talk about the same type of things to business people who have different businesses. So I leverage what I'm talking about now to talk about people who are interested in real estate, who are watching me now all around the world. In a few minutes, I will go talk to business people locally. By the time I go home, it will be a great business day. But how I do that, how I position that, all that is part of the strategy. And you can do the same thing. You can have an event, and I can teach you how you can do the same thing, how you can talk about how you transform the life of different people, have testimonial, how to have somebody that you sold a house and they're satisfied, and tell other people why they need to work with you and what was their experience dealing with you as a broker, as a real estate agent. It's extremely important to have feedback, okay? And so we're still talking about paid traffic. So when you have that audience, you can talk to them about all these type of things. And finally, when something goes viral, that's when you take the advantage for you to be able to seize a powerful moment and to share it with your audience. For example, when you sign the deal, and I will give you like, $1,000 secret minimum, okay? When you sign a deal and you're at the table and you say, you know what, they signed the deal with a lawyer and everything, and they signed the paper and stuff like that, and oh my God, they got the baby crying, they got the mom just wired them some money, so oh my God, we need to get the house. Oh my God, we need $2,000. And they finally get them to the table and they sign those papers. And then they receive the key. That's the moment when you say, like, okay, after they have a moment, do you mind record for me what was your experience dealing with me to get your house? And they will be happy. Say, you know what? We started, 4 months ago. It was so hard. We have to fix our credit. We have to call my grandma in Alabama to wire me some money. Money didn't come up, but you pray with us. You help us. You call us when we're tired. You encourage us. And now we have a house. Thank you. Please, if you want to buy a house, go with Mr. and Mrs. such and such. And she helped me so much. Thank you again. I'm a homeowner. That type of thing is priceless. It's not scripted. That's a viral video that you want to put on your social media, having somebody refer your services to others. That's why it's so important for you to have that, okay? So it's extremely important to have this type of things and really keep moving these type of things. You keep moving up. But if you cannot be able to seize that type of opportunity, now you miss out on the power of social media. So I hope you understand those 3 types of traffic. It's extremely important. Okay? So now, if you have any question about what I'm saying, my name is Darcy Okandaga. I'm on Facebook, send me an inbox or put your comment on that YouTube video, and make sure that as soon as I can, I'll be able to answer your question. So now let's go to the second part of the webinar. Now you need to learn how to use the tools that are already available for you to be able to conduct what I'm doing now. Okay, so there's a different type of tools, a series of tools that you need to have. But first of all, there's different type of format that you need to have to be able to communicate with a maximum of people. Remember, a business is made by people who are your client and your customer. So if you don't have your client and your customer, you will not be able to make it happen. So extremely important for you to do that. So if you don't have this type of things, you will be able to really get to that level by doing what? The different format. On the internet, there is different format where you can communicate with people as a content creator. Even if you're a real estate agent, now you are a content creator and you have to create content about real estate. I see a lot of blog and about real estate, but the problem with a blog today, unless you have a huge sponsor or you're a celebrity, your blog will not grow like it's supposed to, because there's about 700 million websites as we speak now. So there's 700 million chance of people to not find your blog. But most people spend their time on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Pinterest, and they're on it. So especially Pinterest. So if you have some good taste as a real estate agent or real estate broker, and you're a real estate investor, you need to post some picture of tasteful houses and client that you'll be working with. Because on Pinterest, it's all about beauty, it's all about design. And they will see that the colors and say, oh my God, I love this type of house. And say, like, this house is for sale, or this house is for rent. So, oh my God, I need to do that. Same thing on Instagram. You can post it on Facebook, on Twitter. That's the first type of format that I want to talk about on the internet, picture. But now the picture, you need to add words. So now on that picture, you put now a nice written blogging post about that picture. So you know what? Let me tell you the story about that picture. Communication is about storytelling. So if you don't know how to tell a story, it's going to be kind of complicated for you to be able to convey your story to somebody else. I hope it makes sense. Okay? So when you learn how to do this type of things, you're really learning how to really create and do certain things in a certain level, and people can relate to you. So then you write something from your heart. So let me tell you the story about that picture. I took that picture because when my client saw that picture, they start crying because it was that color make them think about one of their family members who passed. And people are like, wow. And that's a true story. That's just an example. It can be a story about a pet or something like that. So people can say, you know what? That's the same thing. In the house I used to have, red was making me think about that particular thing. And now, boom, you have a connection with that person. That person can relate to you. And now when there's a relation, now the ship can come and now create something powerful. So now from pictures to a written format, a blog. Now let's come to the audio part. Some people are very busy, so sometimes they cannot watch something because they need to, they need to drive. Some people are not driving, so they'll say, I couldn't come to your webinar. I have to catch a replay because I was driving, and that's fine. Guess what? You use the phone, conference call. That's something I haven't done a lot, but I will start doing a lot of conference call in 2015 for my business. So now they're driving, and guess what? They can listen to you. That's the power of phone. They can be anywhere and listen to you worldwide. That's powerful. So same thing on that phone. You talk about real estate, talk about your experience, talk about your passion, talk about why you're doing real estate, why you want to help maximum people. And people start, being related to you, say, wow, I like that. I like what they're talking about. I really need to work with them. Conference call. Then after the conference call, you do what we call podcast. Use the type of microphone I have now is a Yeti mic, USB condenser mic. And you can find it on Amazon. And if you take one of my courses, I will let you know exactly how to do it. And that with this microphone, you can start your own on-demand radio show, what we call podcast. Podcasts are very powerful. And I really want people to be able to seize that opportunity and be able to say, you know what, now I have a podcast. And podcast can be on iTunes, in which, you know, a potential of 45 million people every month. That's huge. That's a lot of people don't really know the power of podcast. The podcast being the biggest, one of the biggest tools on social media. So it's important, you know, to have. After the podcast, you can have what we call now video. Now you can have a video, you can have video live, and in a few minutes, you know, we have Wendy. She just, you know, enter the room. But like I said, you can have different things and be able to make it happen. From a video, you can have a webinar. And that's why it's so important for us to make it happen just like that. Okay, so when you have your live video, you can do what we call on-demand video. On-demand video is something that you record, and then somebody coming and can watch a video on YouTube or Vimeo or Wistia. Then you can have what we call an online course when you're still teaching on real estate about what you know.
Wow.
And now they get to that level. Then after that online courses, you can do now what we call live webinar, where you teach the same people live. So that's a different medium that you can use on social media, plus the three type of things I was telling them about, the three different traffic: organic, viral, and paid. And then the different format of communication that we need to use. It means picture, blog post, audio. So it's podcast, conference call, video. So something that you record and they expect on schedule, that we know that is coming. Then you have a video on demand, so they have to request to access. Then you create your own online course, or you do live like we're doing now.
Yes, I love this.
And you can one on time. How you do that? So now you can, you know, go ahead and I will go to like I was already telling them, like we have 2 meetings going on.
Isn't it great to be in such demand, Darcy?
Exactly. So can you tell them a little bit more about what's going on?
Yes,
and then I will go there too.
Well, the thing that's happening now, I hope the people that are watching, you really follow Darcy's advice, because about a year ago, I've known Darcy, as I said, 10 years. And every year I revisit my business and I look at what's the next thing I need to implement to take me to the next level. I'd already built a brand, but I wanted to take it to the next level. And Darcy said, Wendy, you need to do more videos. And you need to do more professional videos, because I was doing a lot of stuff with my phone and just posting it on YouTube and also on Facebook and getting a lot of comments. My grandson actually did my videos, and Darcy said, no, upgrade and start doing more videos. And I did. And what happened is now it's taken our business, my business, to another level. And Darcy did a lot of my videos, so people are contacting him from doing my videos to do stuff for them too. And it just keeps going. So right now we are actually doing the webinar, and we're also doing the first real estate investment club within a club at the Commerce Club. And this is an idea that I had for a while now. And when I joined and became a member of the Commerce Club, brought an event here that did very well. And they said, would you be open to doing this? One of the persons that at the time worked at the Commerce Club, he's not here now, but he said to me, would you be interested in doing a real estate investment meeting here? And I said, of course. And they said, we think you would take it to the next level. So Darcy, myself, and a gentleman named John Dudley, and also my son, Anthony Williams, we're spearheading that. And it's off to an amazing, amazing start. And one of the reasons I wanted to share that is because most people don't understand, but one of the things you want to do in building your business is networking events. And if there are none in your neighborhood, start one. I've started networking events in Columbus, Georgia for 5 Links. I've done networking events in as far as Nigeria. I've started so many networking events in the Atlanta area, in the New York area, because I think when you have information, you want to get it out to people, and you want people to have access to the stuff that you know. And the more you feed people, they will then choose to work with you. If you lead in with, I've got to make a lot of money, then you usually don't. But when you do, like Darcy and myself love to do, which is share content, and I would have to say, part of our spiritual makeup is always to give, and then you end up getting in the long run. So I really appreciate that. Now, I want to get into today's content. As you know, I am a real estate investor who has been a real estate broker for about 15 years in the New York area. I've done all kinds of real estate transactions, from land to selling out subdivisions to, one property to one family houses to multi-million-dollar strip malls, and I can go on and on and on. But what's happening for me is going to do you no good unless we get to the point of getting you to move forward. So one of the things I like to start with is mindset. When you decide to really make more money, when you really have a decision that comes from your gut, and you say, I am committed to do whatever it takes to make more money, and to, one, maybe you want to give your children a better education, as I wanted when I first got involved in real estate, or you want to give your mom a better lifestyle, as I wanted when I first got into real estate. Maybe you want to help the church and give more. I also, at the time, wanted to give more to the private school my children were going to, which was Sacred Heart in Cambria Heights. Got very involved and helped to donate and get some things done while my children were there. And maybe you just want a better life for yourself. Maybe you have a day job, that good job everybody calls it, but you don't like this job. And you're kind of trying to find a way to do something a little differently so that you can have quality time and enjoy what you do. Well, if you sound like any of the above is you, I would encourage you to be open to something called the Yellow Letter Mentoring Program, which is a real estate investor's dream. And I can't understand why more people don't know how to do a Yellow Letter Mentoring campaign. There are a lot of people that can tell you that they use the Yellow Letter Mentoring or the Yellow Letter campaign to get business. And I believe the way that I teach this program makes a huge difference. I just had a class graduate last night that have taken this course in the past 60 days, and every single one of them said they appreciate the fact that I give them specifically what I write. I give them the kind of dialogue I use when the phone rings. I teach them how to learn how to build rapport and build relationships with people that are going to take them to the next level and have people wanting to sell with them. And we also give a few leads, minimum of 200 names, addresses of people that are motivated to sell because, one, they may have a property that a family member passed away and left and they don't know what to do with it. Maybe they're about to go into a foreclosure. They don't know how to handle that. They're behind in mortgage, or they have more than one property and they just don't want to keep it anymore. Maybe they had a bad tenant and the tenant hasn't paid the mortgage. And people out there have some real estate issues that they don't know how to handle. And this Yellow Letter Mentoring campaign teaches you how to find those people, or those people come out and find you and choose you and want to work with you. The reason that's important is because I always believe in what I call attraction marketing, where people self-select and say, I want to work specifically with you. And this Yellow Letter Mentoring program, along with the marketing techniques that Darcy's teaching, make that a lot easier. I can't tell you how many times a day my phone rings. On the way here, I had a young lady call me from a 516 area code. And I said, oh, New York, it could be somebody that I might know from New York. And it turned out a young lady was calling because her mom received one of my letters over the weekend, and she wanted to make sure it was not a scam because she had never heard of somebody writing a letter saying, I'm interested in buying your house for cash, with her specific address, her specific name, something that intimate. Either is somebody who really cares or somebody that is out to scam you, is what she said. So we spoke for about 10 minutes, found out we had a lot in common. And she is definitely making sure that her mom works with me as the investor that ends up with her home. And these are the techniques I want to share with you. You know, let me just do something. I have some information here that I wanted to share, because a lot of people think the Yellow Letter campaign is something that does not work. And it is such a simple campaign, I can't say that enough, that I wanted to share with you. One, the envelopes that I use. You may not be able to see the colors that well, but small envelopes. There we go. Now, that envelope right there is called an invitation envelope. We definitely want to use that. And as you can see, this was mailed out and it came back, but I sent out 100 letters and my phone is ringing off the wall from those 100 letters. However, you see here, 3 already came back. So that means I'm sure more are going to come back. But what I tell people is we don't want to focus on what's coming back. We want to focus on that one seller that says that I want to work with you, like this young lady says that her mom is definitely going to work with me. And so I encourage you to be open to real estate investing as a way to create a cash flow, a real cash flow. I want to go back a little bit. A few years ago, I got into real estate now since the early 90s. I have been doing real estate for many years, had a broker's license and worked in the New York area, ended up having 2 very successful offices there, came down to Atlanta and got involved as an investor. And I have to tell you, being an investor is a lot easier. It's a lot nicer. It is a lot more lucrative. And I get to schedule myself the way I choose to. I don't work Sundays. I spend Sundays at church and with my family. I take off at least 1 day a week for family date night. And I take off 1 day a week to take care of myself. I didn't have that kind of flexibility when I was a real estate broker. I've had a lot of businesses, but the flexibility and the most income came from me being a real estate investor. And so that's why I'm passionate about sharing this information, because a lot of people think it's very hard. A lot of people think that there's no deals out there anymore. A lot of people think that if there are deals out there, somebody's already getting them. And that is not true. That is not true. If you don't learn how to do the Yellow Letter Mentoring campaign correctly, it won't work. You can study some of this on YouTube, but it will not take you from A to Z. And the coaching program that I share, we take you from the very beginning of writing your first letter to the addresses and the zip codes in the area you want. Doesn't matter whether you're in Atlanta, Canada, Tennessee, California, New York, Columbus, Georgia, wherever in the world you are in the United States, this works. So I encourage you to use it. So again, we take you from A to Z. One of the things that we teach is how to write the letter. We give you scripts of what to say when people start responding. When sellers call you and say, why did you send me this letter? Or what makes you think that I'm looking to sell right now? But 90% of the feedback I get, because the mailing list we give is so great, and it's not a list that you can buy. I know there's a lot of places you can buy lists, but this is not a list that you can buy. We're not selling this list. It is part of our mentoring program. And on this mentoring program, one of the things that we give is a list of motivated sellers, people that I have a personal assistant, and all she does is weekly basis is get names and addresses of people that fit a certain criteria that I have given her. So most of my people calling me back say, how did you know I was thinking of selling my house? How did you know that I'm behind in my mortgage? How did you know? And that's why they choose to start working with us, because we have a list that is pretty well put together. It's not a list. I've purchased some lists where people told me that it was a list of motivated sellers. However, it was, by the time I got the list, a lot of people had written these people, or a lot of the properties were already sold. You're not going to get that with this list. So imagine having 200 minimum names of motivated sellers, and let's say only 5 wanted to work with you, and you were able to make a couple of $1,000s or more per person that sold the home with you, and you only put out the money for this course, which is under $500. You put out $1 to get a yellow pad, and you purchased maybe a box or 2 of the invitation envelopes, which sell for about $5 anywhere USA. I've seen them for $4 and change, or $5.77. So let's say $6 the most. And let's say you bought 2 packs of these because you wanted to send out 100 letters. So so far you've spent less than 500. It's about 400 for the mentoring program. It's about $10 for 2 packs of envelopes, maybe another $2 for the yellow pad, and maybe you purchase 2 pens, $1 each at the dollar store, and but you made 10 times that on your first deal. And let's say while you were watching something like The Profit, or if you're like me, you like the new show Empire, maybe you were watching that and writing your letters while you were watching that. So maybe you put in an hour. Is that a great return on your investment? And we're not just talking money. One of the things that I found about my graduating students is they develop. A lot of them come into the program brand spanking new, wanting to buy a home for themselves or want to become a real estate investor, and they don't know how to get started. So they're kind of timid on what to say. I had a gentleman who, when he sent out letters, he said people called him back and they weren't too pleasant. And I told him to shift his expectation. And he is now in the middle of a transaction for an 8-family property that's going to cash flow well over $3,000 a month. Some people aren't making that, going to work 40 hours a week, 4 times a month. They're not making that. This gentleman's going to make it from one transaction, one set of 200 addresses that he sent out. And that's just one deal. He's obviously going to do more deals, but that is one deal. And just to see how he's grown, and his confidence has changed. We put you in a Google group that is private. There's nobody else involved in this Google group except for you, the person that wants to be an investor, and any one of the people that have come out to speak. We have attorneys, we have other real estate investors, we have lenders, skip tracers, people that teach you how to find addresses, rehabbers, contractors, anything that has to do with real estate. We even teach you how to work with real estate agents anywhere in the world so that you can find the properties you want. We also teach you how to find buyers for the deals that you have. And all of that information is shared in the Google group. So knowing that somebody is there holding you accountable and yet supporting you and guiding you and holding your hand makes it a lot easier to be able to do real estate. And one of the reasons that I chose to do the Yellow Letter Mentoring Program the way that we're doing it is because I really, really thought it would be a great way to help other people. When I got started in real estate years ago, I got into this industry and I got in because I was flat broke. I was living with my mom, had 3 babies, and I couldn't even figure out how to get $25. I remember it was snowing in New York and my kids needed coats for the winter. I couldn't even afford to get them coats that were $9 a piece. I couldn't even afford that, to get them coats that were $9 a piece. We're talking under $30 for 3 babies. And I said, I am not going to have my kids live this way. So I went to a real estate seminar with Robert Allen. And one of the things that Robert No Money Down Allen taught, he first dealt with our mindset, which is what I did in the beginning, trying to get you to see, is this a vehicle you want to use to do real estate with? That's one. 2, I wanted to do what he did, which is push us out there to go and do a deal. And I was so nervous, but he gave us 1 letter to send out to hundreds of people. And I ended up with 10 deals. 100 letters got me 10 deals. That's 10%. 100 letters got me 10 deals, amazing deals that were in Tampa, Miami, New York, Las Vegas. I can go on and on and on. And so I wanted a program that was going to help give that same kind of support, that same kind of hand-holding, that same kind of throw you in the water, but don't let you drown, because we'll be there to catch you and teach you how to swim. And the Yellow Letter Mentoring Campaign is something that works very well. I've also partnered up in doing this with a very, very amazing gentleman. His name is Kurt Smith, and Kurt is really excellent at the numbers of a deal. He can tell you, your rate of return with his eyes closed. He knows how to figure out deals in ways that I don't even think about. So I have mastered talking with sellers. I have mastered putting deals together. I have mastered getting deals to the closing table and making sure that the deals that I put together are definitely going to get closed. And people end up leaving the closing table happy. They don't feel forced to be at the closing table. They're happy to do the deal, and therefore they give you referrals. So the Yellow Letter Mentoring Campaign does all of that. Now, you're probably wondering if this is something you can afford to do. And I have to say, in this economy, with jobs being scarce, I encourage everybody to start your own business. And this is the least expensive. I've met people who've put more than this type of money out to get involved in multi-level marketing. and nobody's holding their hands. Once they sign up and they get that RIN number or whatever number that they get, sometimes people drop the ball and they're not guiding you to get your money back or to continue growing. I also do multi-level marketing, and when I first got started, I had to study my manual, and I learned how to do what I needed to do to make sure I got my first bonus and built an amazing team. But most people don't get that. A lot of people take $1,000 or more and sign up for multi-level marketing only to lose their money. I'm not saying don't do multi-level marketing, but if you have something that's a no-brainer, like real estate investing, people always have to buy real estate. People always have an issue with real estate, some kind of way. Either they're about to lose their home, or they're looking to upgrade their home, or, real estate is always needed, always necessary. If you were to study this mentoring program, I guarantee you will leave the program feeling more confident, having a specific system that you can put together, and know that you know what to do when it comes to real estate investing. If this is something that sounds like you want to do it, if it really resonates with your spirit, I would encourage you to go to the website and www.moneyanswersallnow.com, www.moneyanswersallnow.com, and you will see a yellow letter mentoring program. It is $397 for you to get started. And once you registered, you would get information for our first conference call. And from there, we figure out what zip codes you're looking for. We figure out what are your goals in real estate investing. And then we put a game plan together that specifically helps you achieve your goals. I don't believe in a cookie cutter anything. The only cookie cutter in this program is that you will get no less than 200 names and addresses of people that you can write to. Other than that, we kind of tailor it to kind of help you achieve your goals. So you have access to myself through this Google group. A lot of my students, they text me. I make myself available to answer questions that they want me specifically to answer. They also have access to Kurt Smith, and he likes to give people game plan on how to put their transaction together. I really encourage you to give this a second thought. So if this is something that resonates with your spirit, I encourage you to go to www.moneyanswersallnow.com/products page, and you will see the yellow letter mentoring program. It doesn't matter where you are. I have students from Tennessee. I have students that are signing up in Canada. It works anywhere in the United States, okay? So I encourage you, if you are somebody that is open to doing real estate investing as a way to build cash flow, maybe you're somebody that's just looking for a property, a nice property for yourself and your family. I have a couple that just graduated from our training program, and one of the reasons they got involved was they wanted to upgrade their home, and they didn't know how to. They also had a business that they didn't know how to market. So some of the things we taught in the Yellow Letter Mentoring program, they actually used it to take their business to a whole nother level. And now, as I said, looking to upgrade their home. So they're looking for specific property, size, rooms, location to upgrade their family. So this is not just for somebody who's looking to become an investor. If you want to get a nice deal for the house you want to live in, I was able to get a really nice home through having the right connections and understanding this type of deal finding. That's what I call it. The yellow letter helps you to find a lot of deals, to do a lot of transactions. So I really encourage you to be open and take a look at getting started. Take a look at not making 2015 another year where you talk about doing something, but it doesn't get done. Or you could have tried real estate investing and didn't succeed. Maybe you're a broker and you are not doing that well in getting leads for sellers. Maybe you are not doing that well in your real estate business. We have quite a few real estate agents and brokers that have taken this mentoring program, and it has changed how they find leads for listings and leads for specific buyers that they have. This program really works, and I really encourage you to take a look at it. I'm going to go ahead and open up this envelope, and I'm hoping that I can show you what my letter looks like to show you. As you can see, I just opened my envelope, and this is what my letter looks like. Here we go. Now, it's so simple. It's so simple. There you go. Now you can see it. And it works. Now, I showed you what I write in the letter. The other part to this, to have success, is to know what to say when they call you back. And that's where a book that I wrote called Success Scripts comes in. I teach you how to ask questions to get the answer you're looking for. I want to repeat that because most people just ask a question to ask a question. I had a young lady that I was mentoring years ago, probably 10 years or more now, asked me, "Wendy, how do you know what questions to ask? You always ask these great questions." I said, I always frame my question based on the answer I'm looking for. So when I ask a question, I start with my answer in mind. Okay, I start with the end result in mind. So when I ask a question, if I want to know what is 5, if I want you to say the number 5, then there's only but so many questions I can ask you. I can ask you, Mary, what is 2 plus 3 equal? I could ask Mary, what is 4 plus 1? I could ask Mary, what is 10 take away 5? But those are all 3 questions that are going to get me the answer I'm looking for. So if I want to know, why are you selling your home now? And I want the root of your problem. What is it that's making you sell now? Then I'm going to ask that question. Mary, why are you selling your home now? Mary, what is going on at this point in your life that's making you consider selling? Mary, if you were to sell your home right now, how quickly would you want to sell it? Mary, if you don't sell your home now, what options would you have, or do you really need to sell your house right now? So you see, I asked the questions to give me the answer I'm looking for. You have to learn. There's methods to conversations with sellers. There's systems, there's frameworks of questions and how to frame your question. All of that we teach you with the Yellow Letter Mentoring Campaign, which I think a lot of coaching programs don't offer. Some people offer you the list and some people don't. Some people sign you up and they send you a book, but nobody is as specific and as detailed as we are in teaching you exactly how to do the Yellow Letter Mentoring Campaign. It is an awesome, awesome program. So I want to say to you guys, if you are interested and taking a deeper dive and working closely with me and really understanding how to do the yellow letter mentoring or the yellow letter campaign, and you want a mentor, I have had major success in real estate because I've always chosen a mentor. And I never looked for the mentor that I could afford. I looked for a mentor I had to stretch and get. I never wanted to make it easy. And I looked for the best mentor I could get. So when I heard about Robert Allen teaching No Money Down, I could not afford it, but I could not afford not to do it. And I tell you that one decision not only changed my life, it changed my children's life. It changed their father's life. It changed my mother's life. It changed some children who hung out in the neighborhood and had the ability to come to our house because I had a 24-hour live-in housekeeper, and most of the neighbors did not have anybody watching their kids. So my house was the house that kids could come hang out and the mothers didn't have to worry about a babysitter or paying a babysitter. So that means a lot to me. And if you're anything like me and you really want to change your life and the life of a lot of other people, I really encourage you to give this an option. But I want you not to think about, oh, I don't have $400. Well, if you don't have it, I would say find it, because it can change your life. I'm telling you what I have done, not something I'm going to do. Real estate investing has changed my life and the life of a lot of people around me. And it's because I sacrificed and I found the best mentor I could find, which was Robert Allen at the time. And then I went on and I found another great mentor who was not cheap either. And his name is Mike Ferry. And I tell you, I've paid thousands of dollars with Mike Ferry, thousands of dollars with Mike Ferry. But I've made hundreds of thousands back because of the stuff these two taught me. And I can go on and on and on. Right now, I have a business coach, and I spend thousands and thousands of dollars with my business coach. But everything I've learned from her, I've already made that money back 10 times more, because a coach will help you in areas that you don't even know the things you don't know. So that's why I encourage you, when you're doing you're looking at real estate as an option and you want to become an investor, we have Darcy coming back. So if you want to become an investor, I would just encourage you to not try to do this on your own, because in the long run, it's going to cost you a lot of money, a lot of money. It's a lot less expensive to invest in getting the trainings that you want. People go and spend hundreds of thousands for college, and then they leave college and they still can't, earn a living. The life is changing now, right? The world is changing. There's no jobs really sitting out there waiting for you, but you can start your own business as a real estate investor. You could learn to implement the stuff Darcy's teaching you and sell things online. But I encourage you, you want to take a shortcut and save yourself some money, find money to pay a mentor. That's the cheapest way to really build a good business in the long run.
But that's great. And, I'm just coming back from next, we have a live event. I'm so excited. It's so powerful.
Yes.
And over there, I said, where is Wendy? I said, Wendy is teaching live worldwide as we speak. And you're going to see her in a few minutes. Wendy, she just came back from New York, not too long ago. I mean, I talked
last
to her.
Night.
Last night. So I talked to you like last Friday.
Yes.
Next Thursday.
Last Thursday.
And then you went to New York. So do you have to ask your boss for permission for time off to go?
Of course not. Yes, I do. I look in the mirror and I say, Wendy, can you give me time off?
So you were able to go to New York.
Stay as long as I wanted.
As you wanted. You have time to say, oh my God, I don't have money for a hotel. Where I'm going to stay? Because before we were preparing that, and I know you don't like me to put you on a blast, but I have to, because we are in a generation when people say, those guys, they're talking like they know what they are talking about.
And we do.
And I was listening to my mentor today, Gary Vaynerchuk, and he said that, somebody asked him, like, how do we do it again to build your brand? So I will do it like I did before. For 10 years, build a $50 million business, and then come out and say, like, this is how I did it. So some people look at me and say, like, okay, what do you know? I will have a privilege not to work with one, but 3 presidents of countries. I was able to translate personally with somebody who owns his own bank, who still have his book translated in French and Spanish. I'm responsible for not 1, but 2 times Amazon worldwide French bestseller. 1 in the English market, 2 in the French market. First Black author ever to break all the records in the French market. I work with Dikembe Mutombo. I work with Mason Beta. I work with different radio stations that you don't even know that exist. And the list go on and on and on. So I have results. I'm not talking about because I Googled something and I try to say something. No, I have results.
And you've given me results.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yes, exactly.
And the guy over there, what's his name? John.
Yes, John Dudley.
Was telling that because he watched a video that I shot, he got $20,000. So I was, talking to people over there. They asked me a question. I said, like, I answer a question. I got another camera running over there, and I unplug myself, and I come back to you live. This is amazing. You don't even know. It's like, how you do that? By the grace of God. We humble ourselves, and we submit our gift to God, and God's doing the rest. But before we conclude that webinar, when you went to New York, what hotel you went to?
Darcy, I have property in New York.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I can stay in my own house in New York.
Okay.
But if I choose, like, I'm going to New York to take my grandson, and he loves Canal Street. So I said to him, if you do well in school, he's so smart. So I said, AJ, if you do well in school, I'm going to take you to Canal Street, and we're going to find a hotel in the center of Canal Street. And you get to do anything and everything you want to do.
Wow.
And I couldn't do that if I didn't have my own business and if I wasn't making the kind of money that I make in real estate.
So I know that sometimes you go to Florida. So
yes.
When you go to Florida, what hotel you go to?
Oh, I stay in the best hotels. I'm not going to stay in.
No, but I was just, set you up. But I have to say, like, she, in her life, she was able to close deal in Florida, in Nevada,
yes,
in California,
yes,
and outside United States. Now I'm just gonna leave it like that. So for your imagination to think about something, because she's not here to flashing stuff or to showing her a paycheck. We are here to build value. The number one thing we want to do is to change your mindset that is possible. We're not, I'm not going to tell you, oh, I made $10 million last night. Not yet. We come a day when we do that. But it's not about the amount of money. I'm not.
But the thing is, even you're living the life you want to live.
Yes.
And to me, that's what I love about this. Okay. You've come to the gates of my subdivision and you're like, I'm not even coming in.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Darcy, to me, you can live anywhere in the world you want. What I love about this program, you and I are kind of similar. I prefer other people to tell you about me. I can brag and boast, and that's a waste of time. But let me give you an example. Because of doing real estate, I was able, I have a women's ministry.
Yes.
So I was able to go to speak in another country. This pastor, who I then introduced you to, Pastor Calvin, when I went to his house or to speak at his church, I took 2 other women with me. And when I got there, he had a nice house that was big enough for him and his family. They didn't have extra money to put us in a hotel. I want to share my humility. I decided I would sleep on the floor in one of the rooms. The other 2 women had the bigger room. He came to visit us in Atlanta. When he saw and stayed at my house where I could give him his own bedroom with his own bathroom, And it was a suite having 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, and on in a gated community in Atlanta, Georgia, where Mason Bether is a neighbor,
And Bow Wow.
Bow Wow is a neighbor, and on and on and on. He was shocked at how humble I was. Now I could have gone and said, I'm not sleeping on no floor.
Well,
Don't you
yeah,
know?
let me get the hotel real quick.
Thank you. But this is what I'm saying. When you have money, you don't have to boast about it. Do you see Bill Gates going around saying, I have all this? Other people speak of what he has.
Or showing his check, showing his back office.
Yes.
I've never seen a rich people doing that. And that's what I'm saying. It's not even, we don't talk about money. We're talking about empowering people.
Thank you.
To give you freedom. You know, right now, I got a 9 to 5, but the way I manage my time, you know, imagine, they respect me because of the way I conduct myself and the way I'm doing things. They give me so much freedom to do whatever I want to do, and in my business to do different things. Why? It's because of the integrity of the way we're doing things. When we know each other for 10 years, when I do business with her, I send her like 10 texts, 3. She knows that she cannot go 2 days without hearing from me.
Exactly.
One day, it's like I'm busy. Before we get to hour 26, she received an explanation. This is what's going on. This is what's going on. I could say, oh, she knows me. I'll see her next week.
But even though we're good friends, I mean, Darcy and his wife are such good friends. I have to share this because it just touched my heart. Last week, when I found out a very close person, somebody that to me was one of my greatest cheerleaders, and my son said to me today, well, Ma, you know, you just got another angel in heaven looking out for you, because he was an angel to me on this earth. And so when you called me, I was trying not to share my feelings, but before I could even say anything, your wife was calling me back. Wendy, Darcy can tell you don't sound right. What's going on? That's how close we are. Yet Darcy still handles me when it comes to business like I'm the biggest client he has, and he's got much bigger clients, but that just shows the professionalism. And I think that's something a lot of people kind of forget about. And again, that's why I like the Yellow Letter Mentoring Campaign, because I teach people with that program how to not lead in with the money, but to lead in with the spirit of excellence and build rapport and build a relationship before you ask for the paycheck.
That's so powerful. But what we're going to do, we love you guys. We're going to have to cut short because we have another meeting and people waiting for us. We are here live from Atlanta, Georgia, 191 Commerce Club.
Yay.
Big shout out to John
Dudley. And a big shout out to my son, Anthony Williams. I think he's the greatest mortgage person out there.
Yes, and big shout out to my most beautiful and the most beautiful woman in the universe, my wife. She's watching me right now. I'm coming home soon. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. I'll see you on the other side of the Yellow Letter Mentoring Campaign.
All right, then. They know where to go? You told them?
www.moneyanswersallnow.com.
That's it.